Most of you, I think, are familiar with the Irish author James Joyce. He was fascinated by this song. It's an old Dublin street ballad, came out in the last century. And it concerns a man named Tim Finnegan, who passed away, and they had a wake for him. Now, in those days, the wakes went on and on and on for days. They waked him right in the house. Well, this wake starts out very nicely. Mostly women, and they're sitting around sipping tea, their gloves and their hats, commenting on the corpse. They never saw him look better. It's lovely. And then, of course, a little later, the men arrive. And as usual, things deteriorate pretty rapidly. Now, there happened to be some whiskey at this wake, believe it or not. The Gaelic translation of whiskey means water of life. It's pronounced Ishkabaha. Now, a fight broke out, believe it or not, after enough of this Ishkabaha had been consumed, and some of this water of life spilled on the corpse. And the rest, as they say, is history. Now, Joyce was fascinated by the song, and he wrote an entire book around it, and the book is about that thick, and you have to really stand on your head to read it. It's written in his own language. So this song, it's called Finnegan's Wake. And if you feel free to clap along and stomp your feet, do it all. Tim Finnegan lived in Walking Street, a gentle Irishman, mighty odd. He'd a beautiful brogue, so rich and sweet, and to rise in the world he carried a hod. But he'd a sort of a tippling way, with the love for the liquor poor Tim was born, and to help him on with his work each day, he'd a drop of the crater every morn. Whack it out and steer partner, well, Lord, collar shake, wasn't in the truth. I told you lots of fun and Finnegan's Wake. One morning Tim got rather full. His head felt heavy, which made him shake. He fell from a ladder and broke his skull. And they carried him home, his corpse to wake. Now they rolled him up in a nice clean sheet, and they laid him out upon the bed. A bucket of whiskey at his feet, and a bottle of porter at his head. Whack, I told you, lots of fun and Finnegan's Wake. Now his friends assembled at the wake, and Mrs. Finnegan called for lunch. First, she brought in tea and cake, then pipes, tobacco, and whiskey punch. Biddy O'Brien began to cry. Such a nice clean corpse did you ever see? Timmy, my boy, why'd you die? Hold your gob, says Paddy McGee. Whack with the dollar and be a murderer up the floor. Your collar shake, wasn't in the roof. I told you lots of fun and Finnegan's Wake. Then Maggie O'Connor took up the job. Ah, Biddy, said she, you're wrong, I'm sure. Well, Biddy gave her a belt and a gob, and left her sprawling on the floor. Then the war did soon engage. 'Twas woman to woman and man to man. Shillelagh law was all the rage, and a rout and eruption soon began. Then Mickey Maloney raised his head, and a noggin of whiskey flew at him. Now it missed him falling on the bed, and the liquor scattered all over Tim. Lucky Tim. Be God, he revives. See how he rises. There's Timothy, he's rising from the bed, saying, whirl your whiskey around my blazes. Talking light, did you think I'm dead?